When I entered my 40s, I could not believe the situation that I actually found myself in. My plans from when I was a teenager to when I was 20 did not reflect the actual reality of my life 20, 25 years later. I expected so much more of myself, and when I entered my 40s, at the age of 41, I had this kind of breakdown where I was just a wreck. Life was not going how I planned it. I mean, literally, how could I get myself in the situation I was, where I had no money? I was not liking where I was in life in general. My job wasn't satisfying. I just wasn't satisfied in life at all. And it wasn't until I hit rock bottom, I would say, that I actually kind of stepped away from myself and thought, okay, all the habits and all the things that you have done up until this point has literally led you here, from the buying and consuming and purchasing things you don't even need. I mean, I was literally paying on my credit card for for a Chinese I had maybe 2 years ago, all that interest and stuff. I was in a mess. I didn't understand money. I didn't really want to have money, like have an understanding of money. I was quite fearful of money. I didn't understand how the way I was eating was actually fueling my mood, fueling the excess pounds, and then that kind of made it into a whole cycle of behavior. I was in a mess. And if you're feeling that kind of mess state of mind that I am in, I truly, truly understand how hard it is to think there is a way out, but there is a way out. And what I'm going to share with you today is the 7 habit hacks that I just started to implement on my day-to-day, week-to-week, month-to-month, that actually helped me gradually get out of those behaviors and into a new way of thinking, being, and feeling that has just changed everything in how I live my life today. So let's get to those habit hacks. I used to really pride myself on being a night owl. I would be like, yeah, I don't go to bed till 1 o'clock in the morning, wake up at 6 o'clock or wake up at 7, and I'm fine, man. I don't really need to sleep. I feel better when I'm working in the night, or I'm up in the night. I've got so much energy in the night. Energy to do what? Energy to watch TV, energy to scroll on my phone, I'm not actually doing anything productive, fulfilling, bringing me joy in them wee hours of those in the morning. So one of the first habit hacks that I kind of implemented was to try and create a better sleeping routine. That means actually going to bed earlier and waking up earlier. To be honest, most of us who go to bed late, we start a cycle of behavior that makes us hate waking up in the morning. Literally, waking up in the morning is a gift. It's a gift. It's a joy to open up your eyes and say, Lord, I made it. I'm here again to do your bidding. So waking up and feeling, I don't want to get up, and it's such a detrimental start of the day that really impacts how we actually go throughout the rest of our day. First habit hacks that I implemented was to wake up and go to bed at a set time every day. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that was easy. And to be honest, my hack about starting to move my body on a daily basis was the one thing that actually made me get into a better sleeping and better nighttime routine. Because there was no time in the day I could think or kind of adjust my day for me to work out when I came home from work. It just wasn't working for me. I could not do it. So I had to work out in the morning. And in order for me to work out in the morning, I had to wake up earlier. So little by little, as I started to implement that regime of waking up and exercising first thing in the morning, I started to make sure that I was starting to go to bed earlier, so then I can wake up earlier, so that I can do the exercise. So that habit of waking up in the morning really started with me having to facilitate me moving my body to shift all that weight and to get into the routine of starting my day off in a more positive light than to hit that snooze button maybe 10 times. I mean, what was that about? Like literally shocking my body 10 times in the space of like, I don't know, say 20 minutes, just because I wanted that extra 5 minutes that you're not even sleeping the extra 5 minutes. What is the point of a snooze button? Because you don't really snooze. You're just anticipating that zzz coming up. Moving my body was the first step I did after I had my midlife crisis. It was the first thing I said to myself that I need to change. Obviously, I'm thinking about I need to lose weight, but I didn't realize that that trigger of losing weight and the focus on moving my body was the thing that would just change my whole life in ways that I never knew now. That, like I always say, losing the weight is the byproduct. I think really and truly moving my body kind of saved my life, because I could have still been in that place as I was all those years ago, in debt, overweight, depressed and miserable. But we like to keep it simple on I Am Brazen Spirit. And I don't mean I joined a gym. I haven't had a gym membership maybe in over 20 years. I moved my body by small things I did every day. One of those things was a 4-minute HIIT, and that is how I started. I just moved my body 4 minutes a day for, I would say, a good 3 months, and that's all I focused on. My body went into shock on 4 minutes a day. Like literally, weight was coming off. I am sweating. I am energized. I am feeling good about myself. I am confident. Within 3 months, I saw a difference within my physical body, but my emotional body and my spiritual body as well, of actually how it made me feel to move my body and keep those promises to myself. That is what moving my body did. I told myself I was going to do it. I made a commitment and I followed through. And all these years later, moving my body is still an fill in the blank, part of my daily being. I wake up in the morning, the first thing I do is move my body. And obviously, as time has gone past, I've implemented the workouts. I've got longer. I don't always do a 4-minute HIIT unless I'm really struggling that day. And I will only struggle if I didn't get a good night's sleep. So it all kind of impacts, all the habit hacks kind of impact each other. And that's why it's always, they've got the discipline of just trying to keep a nice habit streak on your day-to-day being and day-to-day living in order to maintain the status quo of going in the right direction. We're not going down, we're going up. So move your body any which way you want to every day. That will be one of the biggest catalysts in terms of how you feel about yourself and what it can progress to in terms of what you are now willing to do for your future. In terms of my weight loss and stuff, one of the main habit hacks that I kind of introduced was not to say that I'm going to eat less. My thing was, all I'm going to do is remove processed food from my diet. So I went from a highly processed diet, like in terms of ready meals and things like that, to just gradually introducing more home cooked meals, more food from scratch, more whole foods into my diet. And the impact on not just my weight, because I always think that changing your diet does impact your weight, obviously, but it's more of how it made me feel. I was so unaware of how eating these foods that were high in salt, high in additives, high in sugar, was actually making me feel. And we all want to feel good. That's the main thing. We want to wake up and feel good. We want to move our bodies and feel good. We want to make our way in the world and interact with people feeling good about ourselves. Eating and swapping out all those processed stuff first from my meals was one of the biggest habit hacks that I had in order to rebuild my self-confidence, rebuild my well-being, just rebuild how I really felt about myself. The weight loss and stuff was the byproduct. Really and truly swapping out things in terms of changing a better and making better choices in what you're eating was key into building a whole different life. And now I don't even crave any of the things that I used to crave. Like, here's the psychology. Chantel, you're going food shopping. Big New York cheesecake. That used to be my number one thing on my shopping list. And I'll buy it with the intention of I'll have a slice, and then my kids would have a slice, and then my husband would have a slice, and that never happened. I ate the whole cheesecake. Subconsciously, I knew purchasing that cheesecake, I would eat that whole cheesecake. By swapping out that cheesecake and thinking, okay, I'm not even going to bring that cheesecake in my house. If I'm going out to eat, maybe I'll choose the cheesecake. But having it in my house and knowing I'm going to eat this whole cheesecake for myself, that was a shift I had to make. Little things that you have control of. If it's not in your house, you're not going to eat it. By deciding I'm not going to reduce how much I am eating. I'm not going to go on a diet. I am not going to starve myself for food or reduce. All I'm going to do is add more better, nutritious things that make my body actually needs to make me feel better into my diet. And by that, reducing the types of foods that my body just kind of rejects anyway, because it makes me feel bad after I eat it. Definitely making healthy food choices was one of the biggest impacts in terms of how I built a new life, because I just felt better about myself in terms of what I was eating and how that food was making me feel. And then it wasn't until I started to implement the habit of gratitude that the way I looked at things really changed. And gratitude, I know sometimes people think that could be woo-woo, but I still, 6 years later after my midlife crisis, keep a gratitude journal. Oh, I haven't got it there, it's down there. But I write in my gratitude journal every night because it reminds me of the things that actually I have got or I have achieved or I am really thankful for. And to be honest, sometimes my gratitude journal is really shallow. Literally, my gratitude journal might be thank you for Amazon. Because, I needed something, I got Prime, and it came that same day. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, universe. Thank you, whoever you prescribe to, for Amazon. It could be thank you for that person that opened the door when I was carrying something. It's those little things. It doesn't have to be really big, major things, but having a practice of gratitude enables you to reflect on your day or reflect on your week and actually pick out all the things that you are really grateful for. There's times when I might have had a disagreement with a family member or a disagreement in school or some we butted heads about something. And sometimes you do carry that home with you. And having the practice of gratitude actually relieves yourself, because then you can think, okay, thank you for thank you for that experience because I have learned this. Or thank you for that happening to me because now I know I can do this. To be honest, of all the habit hacks that I have shared of how I built a new life, practicing gratitude was probably the one that set me free from the burden of my, disempowering beliefs and my feeling of inadequacy and just my feeling of lack. It created a feeling of abundance because I could look through all my journal entries and see I have got so much to be thankful for. And actually that gives me a reason to wake up in the day to find some more. So practice your gratitude, people. Practice your gratitude. It will change the way you look at things totally. Now, I know we just talked about gratitude and being grateful for what you have, and looking at things in a way where actually what you have should be enough. But I'm going to put my hands up. I want more. I want more. I've said it. I am grateful for where I am, but actually I'm looking forward to where I'm going to. So that juxtaposition of being grateful but still wanting more sometimes can be a hindrance in just our mindset. But I'm here to give you the brazen permission to, yes, be thankful for what you have, but also strive to get more. Otherwise, how would you ever reach your full potential if you're always satisfied with what you have? And that's where my habit hack of setting goals and going after those goals is one of the key things that helped me build my new life. I could have literally gone through my midlife crisis, lost the weight, stopped smoking, got healthier and been like, okay, cool, dum da dum dum dum. Just gonna go to do my 9 to 5 work. I'm just gonna do this. I'm gonna keep everything else the same. No, I want more. Why? Because I want what the universe has to offer. It's all out here for us to take. What do you do in those cases? You set goals. Setting goals, whether they be big or small, is one of the biggest habit hacks that you can implement right now. Now, goals don't have to be big. Goals can be small, tiny goals. When I first started out on my journey, my goal was not to be on YouTube. My goal was not to start a company. My goal was not to quit my job. My goal was just to flipping out. I need to get out of this shit that I've created. But with every goal that I set for myself, I created a new confidence and a new discipline. And then I said, oh, how about if I tried this as well? New goal. You always set new goals to keep your progress growing. You're not a tree. You can't just stay where you are. Even trees, you look at trees, they are growing, constantly looking to find the sunlight. And it's time for you to be brazen and reach out for your sunlight. Setting goals, challenging yourself, doing things that are out of your comfort zone will help build that life that you really truly desire. And that is one habit hack that I implore all my brazen ladies to do. Now, if there are parts of my journey that you want more information about, if you want me to go in a bit deeper and tell my proper real story, please let me know in the comments below. I'm really happy to share, and I really want to make this Brazen Spirit a community for women that are supportive, that are encouraging, and that are inspirational. So either please tell your story below or ask me a question. I am all ears. And it doesn't even matter when you're setting the goals about the how. Don't think about how you're going to get there. The how is irrelevant when you're setting the goal. Just write the intention of this is what you want to achieve, and then do all the other habit hacks that I've talked about over the video, and then you'll see little by little those goals you'll be able to be ticking off your list about what you want to achieve little by little. But it shows that you are progressing. You're not stagnant, you're not staying still, you're investing in yourself, and you're going towards your brazen life. Another habit hack that has drastically changed my life is going back to school. Now, obviously, I'm in my 40s, and I don't mean I physically went back to school, but I had to make the commitment to learn new things. We get to a point in our lives where we are in a job, we're in a relationship, we're in wherever we are, and we just assume that the learning has stopped. The learning never stops. So I had to make a commitment to learn new things. As part of my learning habit, I started to read more books. I started to listen to more podcasts. I stopped using YouTube or social media as entertainment. Literally, I was ready to change my life, and I needed to be surrounded by things that will help me learn how to do so. So a habit hack that I implemented was learning. Now, obviously, we've all got different goals and different aspirations, but we are all human. So we all have relationships, we all have work to do, we all have goals and things that we want to achieve. And the only how we know how to get better at those things is to find out what people who we admire do, or what people who are successful do, actually how they go about doing it. And that goes by deep diving into their techniques, deep diving into the things that they've implemented in their lives, deep diving into their philosophies. Always learning is the hack that will set you up for anything that you want in the future. That is apart from moving your body on a daily basis, the habit of learning, the habit of upskilling, the habit of wisdom, wisdom meaning learning what you want to learn and then put it into practice. That is one of the major habit hacks that will help you in all aspects of your life, no matter what it is. We can all get better at relationships. I can tell you literally since my initial midlife crisis to where I am now, me and my husband's relationship is much better because I have learned how to communicate better. I have learned how to have more compassion. I've learned how to have empathy, and I've learned how to actually be authentic with how I'm feeling and how to share that how I'm feeling. We are always learning. Implement a habit hack of learning into your weekly, daily, monthly schedule. Carve out some time in terms of how, when you're going to read, what you're going to listen to, just implement that whole habit. That will make a major difference and help you build the life that you really want to live. That will help me build the life that I really love right now. And I'm still learning. There's so many things. I'm sitting here in front of the camera with you now. The light is in my face. I'm probably squinting a little bit, but I'm going, and I'm even feeling a bit faint. I don't know if that's the adrenaline or what, but I'm still here and I'm still expressing, and it's just all learning. Me sitting in front of the camera is all learning, and I'll go away, review my videos and learn some more. And hopefully on the next videos, I'll be able to implement what I have learned. That we are all learning. No matter what age you are, there's still room to grow. And that means seeking the knowledge, implementing it, and moving forward. At work, my colleagues always say that, Chantel, you're so calm, or Chantel, yeah, nothing really gets to you, or Chantel, you're not upset about that. One of the main habit hacks that that's helped me build my new life is learning how to deal with stress, whether that be stress from external factors or stress that comes within me, stress that kind of penetrates emotionally with me. My saying is, life is 10% of what happens and 90% of how you react to it. So my reaction, I'll be honest, unless something's going wrong where someone in my family is having a crisis and it's a life and death crisis, or there is some really imminent threat of danger to anything, or something's happening that's really major, that's going to be life shifting or dangerous, yeah, I can panic and get stressed out about it. A report not being handed in on time, or I don't know, being late to drop something. Those are things that actually, they're not going to raise my stress levels. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying I don't care about it. What I'm saying is I'm not internally taking on that stress. Before I changed my life, I suffered from really high blood pressure because I was stressed out about everything. I'm talking everything. People didn't even know I was stressing out. They probably thought I was really calm or nonchalant and didn't care. I'm stressing. I'm an overthinker by nature. So learning to deal with stress was a major habit hack that I had to learn in order to build the life that I need now, because running your own business, quitting your job, starting something brand new, being out there by yourself is stressful. However, I'm refraining the stress to excitement. So when I get those little butterflies and I'm thinking, oh, can I really do this? Or this is just too much, or this is overwhelming. I'm trying to always consciously say, no, that is not the words we're using, Chantel. I'm always parenting myself. That's not the words we're using. This is exciting. There's opportunities in this. What will you learn from this, Chantel? I do use quite a few techniques in order to help me mitigate the stresses of life that come anyway. So I do journal. I journal in the morning and I journal in the evening. I do practice a lot of breathing techniques. So I will take some time and breathe in through my nose and out through my mouth for about 3 to 5 times. And I do try and take the time to kind of reframe the story, because it's normally the story in our mind that kind of stress us out. Really, if we take ourselves out of the picture and look down, let's try and find the solution to the problem, and then we can think about why the problem happened. And that's just how I look at it. I don't focus on the problem in terms of why the problem happened. I focus on, let's get the problem sorted, and then we can look back and think, how can we mitigate that in the future? And there's so many ways you can do that. Again, it goes back to my habit hack of learning. Learn what works for you. What works for me might not work for you, but you can learn a technique in how you deal with stress that actually works and resonates with you. Habit hack for you to definitely live your life in terms of trying to implement, because stress will come at all angles, especially when we don't expect it, and we have to always be prepared. So there you have it, the 7 most important habit hacks that I use to help build my life. Now, I want to know in the comments below, let me know what habit hacks you will be starting today. And I mean today. There are so many things that I mentioned within the video that you don't even have to wait or plan for. You can literally start today. So let me know in the comments below which of those 7 hacks you will be starting, and I can't wait to hear about your brazen journey as you implement all those habits across your day, week, and month. I can't wait to see you grow.